Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Thursday night of stamping. My name is Sarah Simon. I'm sure most of you know me or you wouldn't be here. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin, and it is a foggy, very strange kind of day. Hello, Michelle and Tammy. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure there are other people on here. Feel free to leave a comment. Actually, I'm not seeing my YouTube or Facebook comments right now. There we go. Now I can. All right. The purpose of the next couple of lives that I'm going to be doing are to introduce you to some of the new products that are coming out. That's going to be products from this mini catalog, which hopefully you have your hands on already. There will also be some product featuring product from the celebration, which this is a very fun time of year. Hello, Kay. Um, and then one thing that you're not able to see, hello, Jean, Angelique. Thank you for joining me. One of the things that you cannot see yet, there are also going to be a whole bunch of new online exclusives that are also added on January 7th. Hello, Denise. So I thought tonight I would start this with an online exclusive because those are the things that, unless you're a demonstrator, and some of you are, you haven't probably seen some of the things that are going to be available starting on January 7th that are online exclusives. So that's where I'm going to be starting tonight. Hello, Sonia and Betty and Mary and Kay. I'm so glad that you joined me. And thanks for those of you that are liking and sharing, and Amanda and Kathy and Marva. I knew I had to take a little bit of time. Usually I have my little 30 seconds of intro music and getting ready, but I was pretty much ready. So I thought, I'm going to just go ahead and start tonight. Hello, Sherry. On Facebook and Karen on Facebook. Yes, I hope that you all had a very nice Christmas. My family's actually celebrating our Christmas on Saturday. Hello, Nancy and Jeannie. Or yeah, I think it's Jean or Jeannie. I'm not sure how you say it. Um, but we are celebrating our Christmas on Saturday. So it was very low key for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I went over to my mom and dad's. We had leftovers from our Sunday celebration with my nephew, who's not going to be able to be here on Saturday. And we went to church. I slept over there with Lila. I stayed in my pajamas, I think, until like about 10:30 or quarter to 11 on Christmas Day. And then I put sweats on and we watched football. We went over to my brother's and had something for dinner. And then I came home and I got ready for tonight. So it was a very, very mellow and laid back Saturday VOV craziness. So I did work today. I'm taking tomorrow off to help my mom and dad get ready. So thank you all for joining me. I wanted to give a couple of minutes for people to hop on. And then really these preview product, new product spotlight nights are meant to be more of a, let's just get to stamping. I am going to be giving out some prizes and I'll show you what I'm going to be giving out tomorrow for those who, what I decided to do is I created a Google form and I put the link in the description for the YouTube video. I did it right before I came on here. Once Facebook is done, once I'm done with this, I will go back and edit the description for my Facebook video, and I will add that link as well so that you can go in there. If you click on that, it just asks you to put your name and your address. That way, if you win, I know where to send it to. Hello, Sarah and Amanda. And then I will go ahead and do a wheel like I did during my World Card Making Day. I will put all the names into a wheel. I'll spin it live tomorrow to let you know who the winner is for tomorrow, or for tonight, from tonight's. You have until 6 o'clock tomorrow evening to enter that. So if you're not watching it live with us tonight, then if you're watching it tomorrow, you can still go on to that link and you can still sign up. That way I have an address right there that I can send it to you and I don't have to try to look some of that stuff up. So that's how I'm going to be running that. So let's go ahead and switch the camera. I'm going to introduce you to this new product. I am going to turn, I think I still have, yeah, I have a lot of shadows. I'm going to turn my overhead light off. That usually fixes those shadows. Yep, now the shadows are not there, so we are much better and it's much more in focus. So, this new suite of products is called Mixed Media Florals is the name of the suite of products, and that's what the name of the designer series paper is. So this is the what the paper looks like. So we've got some kind of just some uh I don't know, not watercolor, but kind of like paint, um, not paint splatters, but strokes, I guess, brush strokes. And so this is what we have for one side of the paper. And then on the other side, oh, the link is requesting access. I will go in and fix that, Jean, afterwards, but thank you so much for letting me know. I thought I set it up that anyone with the link could do it, but I will make sure that I change that setting on there. I did it at like about 6:20, and so I probably just forgot that one step. So I will do that so that it is you are able to go in and sign up to do that. So this is what the paper looks like on the other side. So there's a couple of black and whites. So you could color this in. We also have some black and white paper here and also some colored, kind of like watercolor, some lines. So that is the designer series paper. This is what we consider a mega suite or a super suite because it has two bundles associated with it. So we have the mixed florals, which are really large images. We're going to actually use this one right here. That's kind of like a, I don't know if that's a coneflower or daisy, whatever that is. We're going to be using this. Also has tulips, has three different ladybugs, which are really cute. And then with the dies, you have dies that will cut out those images. You have two of each of the ladybugs. So when I had to make 21 of these cards that I'm making tonight, it was really nice to have multiple so that I could cut out multiple ladybugs at the same time. And then it has this really cool kind of like a greenery background that you can create. And then this cuts out this floral image that's here. So the dies are really cool. And then we have mixed florals and then we have mixed labels. So the labels have our greetings. There is this one little floral stamp that's in there as well. And then it has different banners. We're actually going to be using this middle size one for the card that we're making today, but it's got some really cool, neat stitching and where you can layer some of these banners on top of each other, these dies on top of each other. Okay, so we've got two stamps, two bundles that are part of this. We also have an embossing folder, which is those paint strokes. So look at that. Is that not cool? Hello, Debbie. Good evening, Shanna. Um, and there we go. So this is what that looks like. It's a 3D. It's really, really cool. And then we also have some gems, and I used a lot of mine on my swaps, but I do have some of the pink ones left, and they're gold. These are called low profile dots, and they are just that. They're very, very low key. They're not raised much, so these will not require extra postage if you put these on your cards because they are very low profile, which is very nice because postage is not cheap right now. And when you have to add extra, it's like frustrating, right? So this is what I will be giving away, a pack of these. I have them right here. So you can win a pack of these by filling out that form. And I have it actually right here. Nope, I do not. Let me see here. Let me see if I can change it so that if you guys are trying, you can get into it. So I'm going to just quickly give me just a second here. Whoops. I have to go to Google Drive. I went to Gmail. Nothing ever goes fast. New product spotlight. I kind of thought that the settings that I had, I made a copy from my World Card Making Day. So I thought the settings would fix it. Um, Let's see here. Anyone with the link. There you go. If you refresh it or you try going to that link now, it should work for you. So I'm so sorry about that. um, Yeah, Sandy, I thought they're not everybody that watches me as demonstrators. Some people are demonstrators, some are not. And so if you're not a demonstrator, you got a chance to see the catalogs, but you didn't get a chance to see any of the online stuff. So I'm starting out with an online exclusive. So a pack of these will be coming to one lucky winner tomorrow night. You do not have to be tuning in live tomorrow. Like I mentioned earlier, there is a link where you can fill out your name and address. And that way, if you win, I will be able to have your address and be able to put those in the mail to you. I'll have to put them in the mail on Saturday because I'll be picking the winner tomorrow night. Okay, so that is the suite of products. I need to keep this here because we're going to be using those. I'm going to get rid of this other stuff for right now. And I will give you the dimensions for this fun fold card that I created using this. Now I made 21 of these for a swap. It took a long time. There's a lot of coloring and stuff like that in this. So the card base for this, for mine, is boho blue, and it measures 5.5 by 11. So you can only get one of these from a sheet of cardstock. You cannot get two of them like you can from a normal card. I scored this at 2 inches and 3 3/4 inches from each end. Okay, so you can kind of see those score lines there. I also have my color that I kind of offset all of it with, because of the color that was in the designer paper, is black, basic black. I think it made everything kind of pop. So I have two pieces that are 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. All right, those are those. And then I have two that are 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece that's 2 1/8 by 4 3/8. Okay, so this is going to be kind of like my focal point of my card. All right, to go along with that, I have designer series paper that I cut. So I cut up this piece right here that has boho blue, and then this that had boho blue along with those florals that are outlined in black. And so that's why I picked the black as my highlight color. So these two pieces of designer paper are 1 5/8 by 5 1/8. And then these two are 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. Now, I can only get my hands on two packs of this paper to do my swaps. And so I had to make sure that I used an amount. I had to make sure I had two different patterns, and that I was using an amount that wasn't so much that I couldn't get all my swaps done. So that's why you're using very little designer paper and more cardstock in a lot of these cards. All right, then I have, whoops, that's not for this one. Sorry, I must have somehow, ooh, what did I do here? This one I need. I must have forgot to delete something. So this piece right here of basic white is 2 by 4 1/4. And as you can see, I ran it through that embossing folder for our background. And then I also have a piece of basic white for the inside of our card that measures 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. All right. I had to have a very large piece of basic white. Hello, Lori. Thanks for joining me. And I did already stamp this image, and I die cut it so that I didn't have to bring my die cutting machine out to die cut that. But this is that image from, it's very large, but this is that image from the stamp set, the mixed florals. And then I also stamped and die cut two of the ladybugs. Are they not the cutest? Look at those little things. So it was really nice to have doubles of the dies for this. Like I said, when I made 21 of these for my card swap, because I could cut two of each one of them out at a time. So I didn't have to run it through my machine as much. And I did also die cut one of those labels in the boho blue. Okay, so those are all of the supplies that we need. We're going to color this together so I can show you how I colored that. We're also going to color these. On the inside, I am going to stamp a greeting, and I'm going to stamp a greeting on this label. So let me go ahead and I'm going to get my blends out of here. And this says that it's white, but what I did was I purchased our craft white stamp pad, and it comes with a re-inker and it doesn't come inked. So I did not ink it with white, but rather I inked it with our refill of Memento ink to give myself a black stamp pad that has like the foam on it rather than having what we normally have in the Memento. So that's how I got that. So anytime you order a white craft ink pad, it does come uninked and they just send the craft ink along. And so I kept the craft ink because I can always add it to my craft ink pad if I need it. But I took the pad itself and I added the Memento refill. All right, this is going to say just a note to let you know you're on my mind. This is actually going to be a sympathy card. I always find that I need sympathy cards. And all right, and then down in the corner, I'm just going to stamp this floral image kind of on the side like that. I'm going to do the same thing to my envelope. Just going to stamp that down there. And on my label for the outside, I'm going to use the With Sympathy that was in that stamp set. And I am going to stand up to stamp that to make sure I get it hopefully straight. It's pretty good. All right. So that is all that we have to do for stamping. Now I did do this other stamping ahead of time, so you would have to do that stamping as well. All right, let's go ahead. These little flowers, I'm going to color with my light boho blue Stampin' Right, not Stampin' Right, Stampin' Blend marker. And I'm just going to very quickly, they're kind of small, so I'm using my bullet point. I really like the bullet point when I have something that's a little bit smaller. It's unlike our Stampin' Right markers. I know some people are like, oh, I don't even open up the bullet point because I know in the Stampin' Right markers, if you have the old kind, they never worked, right? Stampin' Up has changed that, and the tip is more of like a felty type tip, and they do work much better with the new brand, but a lot of people haven't replaced their old ones, and so they're so used to this bullet point not working well. But to be honest with you, I use the bullet point probably more than I use the brush. I use the brush when I have a really big area to blend in, but otherwise I don't. I'm going to take one of my little Post-it notes for my swaps, and I'm going to stick that inside of here because I don't want my ink to bleed through to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have some paper in there. Looks like I'm over to the side. And I'm just going to lightly go over all of those. So first I was like, oh, I should just have it colored. But then I was like, no, sometimes people like to see, how did she color that? How did she get that shading the way that she did it? And I mean, I just played with it for a little bit. I did some scraps. And then when I got the coloring the way I liked it, then I went ahead and made all of my cards. I sat in front of the TV and did a lot of the coloring because it's just easy to do that way. Hi, Gian and Karen. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so now it didn't bleed through to the back. That's why I threw that in there. All right, then we're going to do the same thing, those same flowers on this big image. We're going to color in blue. So I did not do any shading or do any different like the dark boho blue or anything in these smaller flowers. I did in those cone flowers. Is that what they're called? I think. Um, I don't I don't think they might be daisies. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think a daisy has the big, that's what they are. Somebody who's a flower expert will probably know for sure what the official name of them is, but right, I'm going to just go ahead. Okay, just like that, I have all those blue ones colored in. And when I make 21 of these at a time, I colored all the blue at one time. So I got all my blue done, and then I went back and did the next color. So while they're sitting right here, so I don't lose them, I'm going to go ahead. This is a light poppy parade, and I'm just going to color in these ladybugs. I chose Poppy Parade, which isn't the darkest red that we have. Um, but there we go. We've got my ladybugs. Oh, you probably can't even see those. They're so tiny. But aren't they cute? I thought they just added a little something to this. All right, I kind of looked at this picture right here, and this was in yellow, and this is Calypso Coral. So those are the colors that I used. So I started with my dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to come in and where these spots are on the right hand side of each of these, I'm coloring with my dark daffodil, and then I'm going to come in with the light, and I'm actually probably going to use the brush tip on this, okay, to kind of move some of that ink so it's not as defined a line and is blended a little bit together. Okay, so that's how I did the centers. And then I'm going to use, I'm going to do the greens first. This is just a light granny apple green. And you could, if you wanted to, do some highlight with the dark. When I had so many to make, I decided I didn't want as much focus to be on the leaves and didn't feel I had to spend as much time on the leaves as I did on the petals of the flower. So I decided to focus most of my time and most of my shading on those flowers. And then there was a couple of these that are wide enough to do. And sometimes I just do that. I just decide I'm going to spend more of my time on one thing instead of they're cornflowers. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. Is the official name? A bunch of you said the big flowers are like cone flowers. Okay. So a bunch of you answered me. So thank you so much. I was so busy with doing my coloring that I didn't even see that you had all answered me. Hello, Robin. Um, all right, this is our Calypso Coral, and look at the difference between those two. So I'm going to start, I like to start with my dark and then add my light afterwards. And when I do flowers, I tend to start with my dark towards the center of the flower and kind of work out down one of the sides of the petals. So I'm just going to come in here with the dark, and I'm going to put that dark in here, and I'm going to go down just some of the petals like that. And then I'm going to come in before that ink really dries. And I'm going to, this one doesn't have, I just got a new Calypso Coral, but I must have grabbed my old one. I got a new one because of that. I must have used it for a class and the brush tip got all damaged. That happens when you have like 20 people using uh, markers. All right, so I'm just taking that ink and blending it so that it still stays dark at the top, but those lines are less defined because they get pulled in. The alcohol pulls them in with the new color that I'm putting in there. So looks like that when you're all done. All right, gonna do the same thing with this little cone flower down here. So again, I'm gonna start at the top. I'm just gonna take a couple of those petals and bring that color down. So if you want to see a little bit closer, that's what it looks like. Doesn't look like much, but then I'm going to blend that so it doesn't look like such a harsh line of color. And this is one when I had to make all of these swaps, you had to pretty much do one flower at a time. It's not like I could do all of the dark and then do all of the light. You really do have to, while your ink is still wet, you still have to be pulling that ink into the lighter color. So you do have to do it pretty quickly and not let it wait too long. All right, that's all we're doing for our coloring. Now, to put this card together, let's set all of our, and I want to lose these little ladybugs because I would have to stamp and cut them again. All right, so what we're going to do is on these two lines towards our center, we're going to fold those in. Oh, you know what? So sick of that dirty bone folder. I ended up getting a new bone folder for myself. I had some Hostess dollars left, and I'm like, I'm going to get myself a bone folder. And then I'm going to fold this one back. Same thing here. I'm going to fold this in, give that a good burnish, and then I'm going to fold it back. All right, so this is going to be the layout of our card, and it's going to open like that. Thank you for sharing, Cheryl. Hello. All right, and then what we're going to do with all of these pieces is these are all going to be layered. Actually, this is going to be our center. So we're going to put that right in the center. What fell off of there? It looks like some ribbon. Okay, and then all of these pieces are going to be, these designer series paper are going to be adhered to these little layers. So the floral one is going to go to the smaller black, and the blue is going to go to the bigger black one. So I'm going to go ahead and add these together. I was so worried because I put these in the mail and I sent them out priority. Oh, thanks, Kay. I sent these out priority from Wisconsin to Minnesota. So Minnesota's right next door. Normally, if I put them priority in the mail on a Monday, they will get there by Wednesday. I put them priority. It was Monday, the 16th. I think Monday was the 16th. I put them in the mail on Monday, the 16th, and they arrived on Monday, the 23rd. Oh, I was so panicked. They needed to be there by the 27th. And when they weren't getting there, and I don't know if United Postal Service was just so backed up that they couldn't keep their online, like your tracking number. It just kept saying that it was going to be out for delivery. And that was like on Friday. And she didn't get it Friday. She didn't get it Saturday. And then finally on Monday, she goes, I got it. I got it. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. Okay. I just taped those on the inside part. This is going to be closed. And then we're going to tape these Those flowers on the other side, so pretty. I just needed something a little bit more muted, I thought, so that my flowers stood out. So I opted, instead of the big florally image on the outside, I put that on the inside, and I did more of these paint strokes in the boho blue. I did that for the outside. All right, and those are going to go on those outside panels. Thanks, Jan. Yeah, I really like, for a swap card, I usually don't do this much, but it was like I was kind of designing one night and I'm like, I really like that card. How can I make it simpler for this swap card? And I just decided, what the heck, I'm just going to do it. So this is why it took me forever to get my swap cards done. All right. So there's that. I'm going to actually give this a little bit better. And I might actually go like this. Sometimes if I fold it the other way too, it lays better, believe it or not. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing over here. I just like it to lay a little bit flatter. And one of the things is this is kind of a soft, cushiony surface, and it doesn't, sometimes my bone folding doesn't work as well on that. All right, next I'm going to layer this embossed piece. Oh, I should actually do this with liquid glue. I did do this with liquid glue. I like with embossed pieces to use liquid glue because it gets in all those little cracks and crevices and it just sticks a little bit better. Because glue spreads where my tape stays in the spot that I put it. Where my glue, once I press it down like that, it's spreading out and getting into all those little cracks and crevices. Hello, Bonnie. Thank you. All right. Then we're going to, whoops, almost forgot my little ladybugs. We are going to put this up on dimensionals on here. Look at the back. It looks so bad, right? All right. See, that's why I put that piece of paper in my envelope when I was coloring it, because I was afraid it might leak all the way through to the back of the envelope. Sometimes it does that. All right, we'll pull these off. Throw those away. And this does hang off just a little bit. You can kind of see it off the top, off the side. I'm going to take a little glue dot. Actually, I think I'm just going to take a little liquid glue. I'm going to put a little liquid glue on that leaf right there. And then I'm going to put that ladybug right on top of there. Whoops. Hold it down, but make sure it doesn't stick to my finger. There we go. And then this other one, because I'm putting it on an embossed piece, I'm going to just set that one right there. Okay, this is going to go on the front, but I can only have it attached to one side, otherwise you're not going to be able to open it. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue just along this side right here, or you could put tape. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing towards the center here so that it's getting it close to the end. Then I don't have to guess on my cardstock. And I want to make sure that I have this sort of even top and bottom, right and left. That looks pretty center. And then our greeting is just going to come over like this. And what I did was I put a little bit of glue in the center where it's going to actually be touching that. I'm just going to kind of hold that in place, and the tips kind of went right out to the edge there. And then I'm going to, and I don't, looks like don't have any mini. Here, we can cut some here. After I put that in place with glue, I came back because I didn't want to put dimensional somewhere where it was going to touch the flower image. So I waited until I knew where it was. And then, whoops, you got to take the thing off though, Sarah. There we go. And I'll do the same thing on the other end just to secure it a little bit more so that it's not going to get smashed going through the mail. Okay, so there is our card. I did take a little bit of Wink of Stella and added some of that glitter to the center of the flower. So I don't think you can probably see that. Oh, maybe you can a little bit. See that little glimmer shine there? And then I took some of these low profile dots that came with this suite. You can tell I used all of the pink ones and not the gold ones. And I just put one of each size. So there's a large one and there is a small one. And like I said, they are very flat. And I'm just going to put one up there. And then right next to it, I'm going to put this smaller one. Okay, so there is our mixed media florals suite of products. So thank you for liking and sharing, Melanie. I appreciate that. Hello, Kathy. Thank you, Nancy and Linda and Mary. All right, so this is again the mixed media florals. It has the two stamp sets, one with the greetings, one with the flowers, has dies to cut out the flowers, has labels to cut out the greetings. We have the DSP. Okay, so you can kind of see again. So we used this DSP. I used the back of that one, but it's got a lot of really unique colors in it. Right, beautiful colors. And then we have that really cool embossing folder. Um, so you don't have to buy the entire suite of products. There is a discount if you do, but there's also a discount if you purchase just like one of the bundles or anything like that. So I thought I would share this. This is our first card in our new product spotlight. And again, this is an online exclusive. So if you go looking through the catalog or Celebration, so if you're looking for this product in here, you're not going to find it. All right. If you are a demonstrator, you can see the new online exclusives and you can actually pre-order them now. But for everyone else who's not a demonstrator, this becomes available to you on January 7th when the new catalog goes live and when Celebration starts. All right, so then if you order $60 in product, then you can pull some cool things from here, which I can't open yet, but I'll show you some of the cool things in here as we go throughout the next 5 days. So I'll be live again tomorrow night at 6:30. Saturday, I will be live at 8:30 in the morning before I go to my family. I'm not doing Saturday night because I don't know how late we will go with our family Christmas, but I will do Sunday and Monday as well. So there's actually 4 nights special stamping, and then Saturday will be the creative challenge. So participate in the creative challenge and you get entered into a drawing. If you win, you could pick one of these bundles as your free bundle if you win. So, all right, that is all that I have. Let me turn my light back on. And I'll come back to you. Let's see here. Here and there. All right. Yeah, thank you guys all for jumping on. I really, really appreciate you jumping on. So this is card one. Tomorrow, again, I will put that link in the Facebook post as soon as I'm done here. Look at, I'm sweating. I do not need a flannel on today with these lights. and like working and stuff like that, I'm just sweating right now. Can you see? It's that what do they call that? I'm glistening. Um, so anyway, I will be back again tomorrow night, 6:30. I haven't decided which. I have three possible cards that I could make tomorrow. All of them are fun folds. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. So I'll kind of decide that tonight. But if you have a particular stamp set that you were wanting to see, if it's one of them that I have done already, I would be happy to maybe oblige. So go ahead and put in the comments if there was something that you were looking for. And if I have that, then maybe I'll do that one tomorrow. So thank you so much. Again, fill out that form. It should work now. And I will post it on Facebook if you're a Facebook watcher instead of YouTube. I'll post it in the description of the video. And if you click on that, you can be entered into the drawing to win a pack of these low profile dots, which are gorgeous in gold and petal pink, I think is what the color is of those. All right, that's all I have for you tonight. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will hopefully see you again tomorrow night. Bye bye.